So, and he just got an extension. So how you gonna fire this man in the middle of after you just gave him the extension? What happened to the loyalty?
But yeah.
Well,
man, you know
the loyalty.
You know them hoes ain't loyal.
Well, me, I think the most desirable job, and y'all gonna say I'm a homer. I mean, y'all gonna say I'm saying it because I like Simmons. I think the Philadelphia 76ers job is the most desirable job. The reason I wouldn't say Indiana is because Bird tend to fire coaches every 4. He's actually come out and made it a statement. He thinks a coach needs to be replaced every 4 years. It was a bunch of bullshit him firing Nate McMillan after giving him an extension in June. I'm totally in agreement with you. I think definitely Jungle and Dale agree with me too. I don't want to play with no place where I got to win in 4 years and circumstances don't play a role in me keeping my job. I don't think the Bulls, because I think the Bulls are too young to make a true impact unless you're going to give them a whole lot of time. And if they're going to hire a black dude, they definitely not going to give him a bunch of time. And I think Jungle just said something about that. As long as we ain't talking about Mutombo, it seems that me and Jungle agree a lot. And Westbrook. And I would say the Philadelphia 76ers, because if you are actual coach, a guy who knows X's and O's, like this kid, like this man up in Toronto, like Greg Popovich, or somebody of that ilk, or Monty Williams, which is part of the Greg Popovich tree, you, in my opinion, coaches know how to push buttons of players. And when you know how to push the buttons of a player, you'll get people to excel. If Joel Embiid, hopefully he could shame his fat ass into getting him in shape, and Ben Simmons' ass could be working on his jumper, or they could create a situation to whereas you can have them excel together, because that's the coach's job, like Eric Spoelstra or what have you. Then that would be the most desirable, because they're the closest to winning. Because if you can get one of these discount point guards, a dude who can control the floor, or somebody who can offset the inability of Ben Simmons shooting, the Philadelphia 76ers, who have been in the conference semifinals the last 2 years before this bubble thing, and I believe they are primed and ready to go. That's why I say that. Y'all can respond to that if y'all want.
Hey man, I'm still rolling with the Chi-Town Bulls, man.
Yeah, okay. And Nate McMillan, that was some bullshit. That was some straight up bullshit. They get rid of Nate McMillan. I ain't trying to hear it. This man Joe didn't call the show twice. He trying to get 2 checks. Well, you only getting paid once, man.
But but wasn't they getting swept in the first round the last 2 or 3 years?
Who, the Sixers?
The Pacers.
Well, they got swept last year because Victor Oladipo was gone. Remember, Victor Oladipo had that horrific knee injury last year too. And the fact that they made the playoffs, see, that's what I'm saying. You got to look at the entire situation. The best player of your team go down with a horrific knee injury. Everybody say it's over for y'all, and y'all still make the playoffs. That's coaching. Most of this year, y'all still eligible for the playoffs, and your best player not there. You coach up the rookie. Again, that's coaching. That's what you're looking for. If I was Elton Brand, I'd be looking at Nate McMillan like, hey, Nate, come over here. Maybe you can motivate these 2 big goofballs into being less goofballish.
Hey, you know what's funny? I'm gonna ask y'all this. What do Kevin Durant, Oladipo, and Paul George got in common?
They all played a year at OKC.
and they all did better the year after.
You mean they did better after playing with an all-time great?
I'm just saying.
How could that be possible? How could they? Hey. Who don't want to play with an all-time great?
But nah, that Philly job is man. That Philly job is kind of formidable as well. So I definitely agree with you on that one.
Let's talk about this walkout last week. Thoughts on the walkout? Thoughts on Kenny Smith walking out? Thoughts on Shaq and Kenny Stan? Either one of y'all, the floor is yours.
Hey man, I thought that shit was amazing. As a 47-year-old just into sports. I had never seen that in my lifetime. I mean, I understand that supposedly Oscar Robertson and Jerry West did it, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they didn't do it. They threatened to do it if you didn't let them create the Players Association, and it happened.
All right. I mean, man, kudos to them brothers. Now, what the fallout is, what the problem that we have as a group of people is, man, everybody's not on the same page. Mm-hmm. It's always what a plan? What's the plan? You know what? Let's do this and then talk about it, man. Because obviously the shit that we've been doing is not working, man. This is a start.
Okay. No pushback.
You know?
Are you through or?
And then you got this clown on the TV talking about NBA players boycotting. They don't know why they boycotting. It's not just that Jacob was shot, man. This is decades of shit, man.
What clown are you speaking of?
Your president.
Oh. Bozo.
It's decades, man.
You mean Bozo? T-clown.
I mean, hey man, kudos to them brothers, man. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I want to watch sports because it had reached every sport. But if they would have did it for another week or two, man, I would be even more impressed. But I understand it. Cats need to eat, and you don't want to mess up your situation for next year. So I mean,
right? You ain't asking nobody to risk their entire livelihood. You like the fact that they stood up, right?
Right, because I'm not quitting my job. Shit, I got to get up at 7:50 to punch in at 7:55 to fry shit.
Right. What a lousy guy. Joe, speak on it, bro.
Man, this was prestigious, man. Like, this is something that I can show to my children and show that, you know, those players stood together and was able to do, like you said, like Big Illinois said, these guys are putting their contracts on the line, all that stuff. If things could have got first, but of course, standing up for what's going on in the world. We all understand these are athletes, but they're humans. They're people first. They're men. These are mostly black men. So pretty much every time a black person is gunned down in the street or done wrong in the system, it could be them. Like, just because you're, let's say, the LeBron James or, you know, James Harden or Russell Westbrook, what about the people that's the 15th person on the bench? Those people that's not recognized on a normal basis. So those are the people that understand, like, that could have been me.
One of the dudes from Chicago got jacked up last year.
Sterling Brown.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sterling Brown. Maybe we'll stand up. But yeah, exactly. He wasn't the main guy on the Bucks. He got ran up on like he was a regular, like so-called
like he was a citizen, right?
He felt that. He was a citizen, right? So the fact that they did do that, and the first team that was able to do it was, you know, Milwaukee. It is close to home. I applaud them, fellas. I applaud them.
Thought on the Kenny Smith situation.
Take a stand. Kenny Smith, hey, he took it as this is my job to do this as well. He felt that. I can't change your mind on how you feel or anything like that, so I'm not blaming Shaq. I'm not blaming Chuck. Kenny Smith did it because Kenny Smith felt like this is what I need to do. Mm-hmm. If nobody follows suit, that's how they was able to deal with it. But Kenny Smith walking off, I applaud him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the thing with Kenny Smith, me personally, I mean, once again, it's the same thing with the players, man. You know, you know what the scrutiny that you're gonna have, especially working for a big network. But Shaq and them should have at least acknowledged something, man. They just sat there like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was to echo both of you guys' opinions, I think that was outstanding by the brothers, man. And to echo your sentiment, Big Illinois. I'm sick of these motherfuckers who ain't even boycotted lunch. And and they talking about what's the plan. Like you say, sometimes you gotta react. You just gotta sit on the bus like Rosa Parks or the sister who did it back in the late 1800s. I can't think of her name right now. I did a pre-thing on the show before. You gotta just say, hey man, enough of this shit, and then you gotta do what you gotta do, and then you suffer the consequences later. And so I'm sick of that shit because it seems like me and Jungle disagree, but we ain't falling out. I ain't calling him names. He ain't calling me names. My score gonna be going down because this is gonna be his first week on the show again. but on the serious side, we gotta learn how, as a community, to disagree in private. We not only do we not have to be disagreeable, but I'm not finna argue with Deacon Dale on air about family business. I'm not finna argue with Jungle Brother about black business. You know what I'm saying? We so busy to earn these dollars on these big networks, like y'all said, but that we willing to sacrifice relationships with our comrades, and that's just it's too much. It's too much. Like I said on the Build and Destroy show Saturday, why must we always be stand up guys? Oh no, I ain't voting for Obama because he's black, but goddamn it, I did. So that's what we need to be able to do, and don't be apologizing for it. As far as Kenny Smith, you know how you felt what the brothers did? You said with your grandson, Big Illinois, and Joe, you said with your kids. I think the move by Kenny Smith was even more powerful than the players, because Kenny, I'm not in this no more. Kenny is the only one who really had. They wasn't gonna fire none of them dudes in the league. Kenny could have got fired. And Kenny said, I ain't willing. I got to do something. And I didn't I don't like Charles Barkley, so I don't watch the post game show like I used to. I used to really enjoy it, and I messed around and watched it the other night, and they said something. Shaq and Charles was saying some funny stuff, and I was enjoying the little bit that I saw, but I just don't like Charles Barkley, and I find it difficult to watch. But if y'all saying that Shaq and Charles didn't say anything, I really believe that was some sucker stuff right there, man. I think because we need to stand up, just like, I know this is off topic, but like when everybody got mad at Nick Cannon for apologizing. We don't know what Nick Cannon. We should have supported Nick Cannon and talked amongst ourselves and said we didn't like that. That's all I'm saying. I just don't like that, and I do think we need, at some point, we're going to have to learn how to argue with each other instead of arguing in front of the world. Because you can call me a black motherfucker to my face, and I'm cool with that. But don't you ain't got to call me a black motherfucker on TV, or metaphorically, I mean. And I just think that thing that Kenny did, I think to me, and I'm not trying to say one is better than the other, but I was just like, wow, Kenny did it too. So big ups, like Jungle said, big ups to Kenny, and big ups to everybody else, man. I mean, everybody who stood up. And you notice, I'm gonna ask y'all this, and then we're gonna move on. Have you noticed that they always trying to pit us against each other? Talking about, so what about the guys that don't kneel in football? What about the guys that don't want to boycott? Well, if they didn't want to boycott, they don't have a choice. Because if you ain't finna go out there and play 21, y'all ain't finna do one-on-one. So they're irrelevant, and I don't want to minimize those brothers, but that's not part of the conversation. I got two more questions. Then we go to football. Should Pop go to Brooklyn? And thoughts on Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan being the mouthpiece for the owners, or the liaison, so to speak.
Hey man, I think that's a good look for the NBA, because you got the consensus all-time greatest player,
right?
Who they feel probably